This is Rack Noble from Women's Fight News, and I'm here today with Seniesa Estrada. Seniesa, nice to finally meet you. Kept so track of the career. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing well. I'm excited to be here. Such a huge women's boxing card on Saturday night, so I'm excited to be here. Atmosphere is going to be crazy. UK fans are amazing. So
also, you just mentioned you said you've been to the UK before. You competed in the amateurs. You've had 20 plus fights now, and only now we're seeming to be getting into a golden age of women's boxing. How does it feel to be able to watch and see the sport expand whilst you're coming into the element of your prime?
yeah, it feels so amazing, and I feel like the time is now. Women's boxing has grown so much just within the past 2 to 3 years, but this year has been huge for women's boxing, starting with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, and then now this Saturday having another huge two huge women's boxing matchups. It's just a great year for women's boxing, and I've been boxing since I was 8 years old, so I was coming up when women's boxing was completely dead and unheard of. Promoters weren't signing women, and women weren't fighting on TV. So to just see how far it's come now and how many barriers have been broken is just incredible to see. So I'm just so happy to be able to witness it now and being barely getting into my prime right now, just hitting it, and to have women's boxing be where it's at is just perfect.
You mentioned barely coming into your prime. You're a 2-weight world champion going for your third, so you seem to be pretty established right about now.
No, I haven't even hit the prime yet. No way. I would say out of a 10, I'm still grading myself a 5. So there's still so much more that I need to show, and still improving every day. So people haven't even seen the best super bad.
So this isn't even your final form. There's still a lot more to come.
A lot more to come, and I'm excited about it. I'll be back in the ring in November. It's going to be almost a year since I've been out of the ring, and it's crazy to think, but I'm just eager to get back in there.
So of course, just talking us through, you've recently left Golden Boy. Of course, this one in tonight, I believe, they've got Nugent versus Bell unifying the minimum weight titles, which you still hold one of those titles.
Right.
Do you have any intention of getting back in that minimum weight and fighting for those titles to become undisputed?
Yes, definitely. I want all the belts, and my goal is to be unified champion at 105, 108, and 112. So I'll be defending my WBA world title in November, and then I'll be back in March, and I'm hoping to unify then.
Which one will you be defending in November?
The 105 minimum weight WBA world title.
So of course, Golden Boy have the two fighters fighting for the unified minimum weight title. What made you decide to leave Golden Boy? Because it would have made sense for you to all three fight amongst each other whilst under the same contract. But of course, you're now with Top Rank. What encouraged that decision?
We just couldn't come to an agreement as far as terms that I wanted. But I'm grateful for the years that I spent with Golden Boy Promotions, and I'm just happy now that I'm with Top Rank, and I'll be finishing my career with them, and actually just starting my career with them, because like I said, it's just so much more to show.
As you said, you're only 5 out of 10 so far, still a lot more to go.
Yeah.
Of course, as well, big card tonight: Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall, Alicia Baumgartner versus, I'll throw it up here. Alicia Baumgartner is also inviting Michaela Mayer. Bad. What are your thoughts of these fights, and who do you think is going to be the winners?
I like keep saying this is such a. All 4 females have just such a great skill level, and I think like when you're watching women's boxing like this, if you're not a fan of women's boxing, if you've never watched women's boxing before, and you turn on the TV on Saturday night and you see Alicia Baumgartner versus Michaela Mayer and Claressa versus Savannah Marshall, you're automatically gonna be entertained and become a fan of women's boxing if you've never seen it before. So that's what's so great about Saturday night and about these 2 matchups. And I believe these 2 matchups are very similar. Alicia and Savannah have the power, they're known to be power punchers so far in their careers, and Michaela and Claressa have the amateur pedigree. They have, I believe they have just more tools as far as footwork, boxing, speed, and I think Claressa and Michaela, I see them coming out with the victory on Saturday night because of that.
Also, just touching another point of female boxing on the rise, definitely within the UK, there's definitely been a surge in women's boxing. There's been fluctuation. We've had multiple world champions, big events such as tonight. Do you ever see yourself coming over to the UK and having a few fights? Because I believe
Yeah.
Tina Ruprecht, she's the WBC minimum weight champion, so that could be a fight which could be made in Europe somewhere, potentially the UK.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to fight in the UK. Like I said, one of the greatest fan bases is here in the UK for boxing. So I'm excited to just experience it on Saturday and feel the atmosphere and be able to feel what it's like to fight here, because I would love to fight here someday.
Well, now that you're with Top Rank, of course, working with Boxer, I'm sure there will be many occasions going forth in the future for that. Just lastly, what advice would you give to the female boxers that are coming up in today's day and age? Of course, we've got Olympics, which now have female boxing. We have women becoming undisputed champions. We've got all female cards and all female main events at Madison Square Garden. It's come a long time. Over the last 6 years, only 6 years has come a long way. What advice would you give to the young females coming through the ranks in today's day and age?
Yeah, I would just say to just don't give up. Believe in yourself and do not give up. I mean, I've heard no so many times, and I've heard you can't so many times, but that I never let that get to me and never let it stop me. Thanks to fighters like myself and Michaela and Claressa and all these women who are on the card who have been, struggling for years to get to where we are today, to break down those doors and those barriers for the younger generation and for women who are coming into the pros now. We just have that hunger and that passion. We never stop. We never gave up. So I would just encourage all the young girls and women coming up to just not give up. Believe in yourself. And we're day by day, women's boxing is growing and it's getting better and better. And it's only going to get better from here.
Like you said, this is only 5 out of 10 of your career for women's boxing. This is only 5 out of 10 for women's boxing. So it's not its final form. We still got a long way to go.
Long way to go.
Oh, and just lastly, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia, I think if he continues to just improve every fight and correct little certain mistakes that he does, he's still young and he's still growing and learning every fight. I think Ryan can be unstoppable.
Tank Davis versus Devin Haney, your Top Rank stablemate.
Top Rank. I'm sorry. What was the question? Sorry. I'm jet lagged still.
Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney, your Top Rank stablemate, I should say.
Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Oh, that's an interesting matchup just because Haney has great boxing ability and defense and movement. So that's definitely an interesting matchup that I would like to see.
On the fence.
On the fence.
No problem. Thank you, Seniesa, for your time.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the trip in London, and we'll stay in touch online by Women's Fight News.
Definitely. Thank you so much for the support.
Thank you. All the best. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit like. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and why not check out any other videos on the channel. You can follow Women's Fight News on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.